Hey guys, and welcome to my channel, DocLizzieDPT. Today we are going to be going over beginning mobility moves. So I'm going to show you 5 different moves along with the breathing techniques that you can do if this is kind of your first time going about mobility. So make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we want to discuss today is the difference between flexibility and mobility. I get this question quite often, so I'm going to go ahead and discuss that here. So flexibility is if you're going through a range of motion, so hamstrings here, how far can you go into that range of motion? So meaning how long can that muscle move? So flexibility isn't as functional as mobility. So mobility is going through the functional movement. So how far can your hamstring go as you're going through an exercise? So whether that be something like going up or down stairs, bending over to get something like laundry, how mobile are your hamstrings when you're going through that functional activity? So that's why I personally don't really teach stretching or give a lot of stretches to my clients. I end up doing more mobility moves because that is more functional and that is what's going to help prevent injury. And that's the key, is injury prevention, right? You want to be able to move your body to its fullest potential, highest efficiency, and be able to get through those motions pain-free. So if you were to have to do like a quick movement such as catching something as it's falling or bending over really quickly, you want to be able to do those motions without tweaking your back or, something like injuring your hamstring. So being able to train those muscles into those movements is where you're going to get injury prevention. So if you have never done mobility before, or like taken a mobility class or done anything with mobility, this is a great place to start. So the first thing we're going to go over is diaphragmatic breathing. And the reason is because when you use diaphragmatic breathing, you help stimulate more of the parasympathetic response, which is rest and digest. And it also helps you to talk to your nervous system a little bit more. So if you're going through some hamstring mobility, being able to use that breath is going to help hold that mobility even longer. And the key with this is for longevity. So we don't want to just get some flexibility and like have that for, a few days or weeks. We want this to be lifelong. So being able to train mobility and being consistent with it is the key. So we're going to start with diaphragmatic breathing. So first thing you're going to do is lay on your back. So this is kind of the easiest position to practice diaphragmatic breathing. So what you want to think about is aligning your pelvis with your rib cage. So you're not flared up through here, arching your back like crazy. You want to make sure you keep your rib cage down, pelvis aligned. So if you put your hand on your back, it's not going to slide through. It's nice and tight to the floor. First thing you want to think about is expanding the rib cage. A lot of us end up breathing up through here, through our shoulders, which leads to neck tension. You don't have as much mobility through the rib cage because we're not using the ribs. We're just using our neck muscles. So what you want to think about is if you put your hand into like a C shape here, put them at the bottom part of your rib cage, you are going to try and expand all the way through that C. So the front, middle, and back side, 360 degrees around your torso. So first thing you want to do, take a nice big inhale, allow that belly to expand, allow the sides to expand, allow the back to expand, not just going through the chest. So we're going to take 3 deep breaths here. Big inhale, 360, and exhale. As you exhale, think belly button to spine. Inhale again. And exhale. So if you watch my hand here, watch how it rises and expands. Exhale. We're going to do one more here. Inhale. And exhale. So this is a great thing to practice for even just 2 to 5 minutes or so, just to kind of get used to that breath, and then start every single mobility session with your breathing, and I promise you're going to feel amazing. So the first one we're going to start with is thoracic rotation. So this is one of my favorite exercises of all time. You're going to bring one leg up, the other one's going to be kind of straight back. You're going to lay on your side. You can put a pillow behind your head if you need to. Arms are straight out in front of you. What you're going to do is, by keeping your hips stable here, you're going to bring the top arm across your body, let it go all the way, straighten your arm, look with your neck, and then bring it on back. So what this is doing is rotating through the thoracic spine. We're mobilizing our ribs, we're mobilizing our neck, and we are also stretching through our pec muscles. So if you're someone who feels like you have really tight shoulders, or you feel like you kind of have that forward posture, tension in your back, this is a great, great exercise to go to. So I would do a couple sets of 10 on each side. Adding in the breath, you're going to exhale as your arm goes across. Inhale as it comes back to neutral. We're going to do one more here. Exhale, going across. Inhale, coming back. Again, I would do a couple sets of 10 on each side. We're not going to go over that fully in this one. You can do that at home. So the next one we're going to go over is a cat-cow. So a couple things with the cat-cow. A lot of times what people end up doing is just sinking through the most mobile part of their back, which is right kind of in the middle. We want to be a little more controlled with it and go a little bit higher into that back as we do this. So as you go down, you want to think chest is sinking, elbows bend a little bit, and neck extends. As you go into flexion, you're curving through all parts, your pelvis tucks under, and your head drops down. Same thing, you're going through that middle back. Inhale here, and then you're going to exhale, bringing it up. This should be a very gentle exercise, and you should be going slow and controlled through this movement. We're going to do 3 more here. Inhale. We're doing one more. Awesome. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is for your hip flexors. So this is a very classic exercise, and I feel like a lot of people end up kind of doing it incorrectly. So what you're going to do is start in a half kneel position, just like this. The first thing I'm going to have you do is you're going to tuck your hip under like so, and then shift your body forward. So if we're just extending through like this, we're not getting the mobility we want. This is because your hip flexor actually attaches into your low back. So if you're just extending through your low back, you're not actually mobilizing that muscle. So what you're going to do is tuck that hip under, so you lock out this and you're just shifting your body forward. So no extension here, just a shift. Feel that stretch in the front of your leg here as you go. And I like to go back and forth. And then when I find a tight spot, I do my breathing. So nice big inhale. You can add in your arms, side bend here, if you need a little extra stretch through that muscle. So shifting that body, nice and easy, going back and forth. The breathing is also going to help massage the muscle because the diaphragm kind of runs across those muscles. So it's going to help even further relax it as you go through that motion. So again, I like to just spend 1 to 2 minutes on each side, or going back and forth, maybe 15 to 20 pulses here. Making sure, again, we're not extending through that low back. All right, both sides on that one too. Okay, we're gonna do lumbar rotations now. Very simple exercise, very effective. So you're gonna lay on your back. And with this one here, you want your feet to be about shoulder width apart here. So shoulder width apart, all you're gonna do is kind of keep your rib cage down, rotate your knees to one side so you're not completely coming up like this. You're just allowing them to rotate, and then rotate to the other side. So this is a very gentle exercise, and if you're someone who has like low back pain, this is a great way to get your hips moving, get your pelvis moving, and get that low back moving just a little bit without it being painful. So you want to be very controlled with this, allowing your knees to drop as far as you feel like they can go. If you're feeling tight, then just give it a little bit more time. A few more repetitions might be needed. And again, don't forget about the breath. So important, and I will preach that in almost all the videos that I do because it is so foundational. If you find you're pretty tight on one side, you can stop there, take some nice deep breaths. And then switch to the other side. So again, low impact exercise and mobility move, but highly effective. All right, I would do about a set of 30 on each side, or you can just do the classic 2 sets of 10, whatever feels good to you. The last one I'm going to show you today is a hip switch. So with this one, we're going to keep it basic and beginner. So what I'm going to have you do is you're going to sit back onto your hands like this. Your feet are going to be a little bit wider than your hips, and what you're going to do is you're going to rock them to one side, sitting upright. If you can go all the way upright here, I want you to. If you can't, that's okay. And then you're going to bring it back the other way, gently letting those hips fold to the side. I'm going to show you from the front here. So we're here. I'm folding into it. If I can sit all the way upright, I'm going to. If not, I'm going to stay back on that hand. Then we're going to switch to the other side. And again, if I can come upright, I'm going to work on more of that internal rotation. And just keep going back and forth with this one. The goal is to get your knees to the floor so you're not up like this. If you need to change the angles of your feet, that's okay too. Mobility is really just finding what works for you. There's not like, a very right and a very wrong way to do a lot of this. So just move your body gently. All of this should be pain-free. I like to do maybe a set of 30 again, or a couple sets of 10 each side. I'm not one that's strict on those numbers either. So give yourself just some time to feel good in these positions. Let's do one more each way. Awesome. All right, so today we went over proper breathing techniques for a lot of your mobility moves, and then 5 different beginner exercises that you can start implementing into your daily routine. You can do it prior to exercise or after exercise. Give yourself some time to start working on your mobility, and I promise your body will thank you. Injury prevention is key, and mobility is where that begins. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I will have a ton of videos coming out, hopefully every single week for you all. So let me know what you like to see, what you want to see more of, and stay tuned for the new videos. Thanks, guys.